Plaintiff, Delaney Reed, says the defendant is her mother. And because she was not around when Delaney was a child, she rebelled. And at age 12, she ran away with a man and hitchhiked across 41 states. She's suing her mother today for unpaid rent. Defendant Valerie Reed admits that she was overseas when Delaney was a child and wasn't there for her. But she insists she is now making amends for lost time. Valerie does not believe she owes for rent because she babysat Delaney's children. Go ahead.
I'd like to start off by saying I love my mother very much, but we've had our fair share of problems in the past. I'm going to give you the backdrop of the story quickly. It completely affects the payment plan and what kind of happened. My mother worked a lot when I was a kid. She worked overseas, and I think that I started making a lot of bad decisions while she was overseas. I was in and out of...
Who was supervising you?
My father, my stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
I was in and out of juvenile a lot. I was running away from home. I hitchhiked 41 states. I had gotten to a spiral of bad decisions. By the time I was 14, I was pregnant. And I was pregnant with twins, and they passed away. And it changed my everything. It changed how I looked at life, and I decided I wasn't going to be a statistic. I wasn't going to get on drugs. I wasn't going to drop out of high school. I finished high school.
Before we go further, how often did your mother come home?
She would go for 6 to 9 months at a time.
How did that make you feel?
I definitely had some abandonment issues, but I, as a mother now, I know that, her trade is singing. And that's what her trade is singing. She's a wonderful singer. Oh, okay. And that was what she was best at. And that's the best opportunity she had. Okay. And I didn't understand that then, not at all. But as a working mother, I understand that now.
Change your life around?
Graduated from high school, went to college. I was still with the same guy I was with since I was 12. We had been together for 8 years. We had a son together. And then my fiance, he passed away. So then I was a single mom. I went to trade school. I was like, I can't let this be what stops me. Refrigeration specialist.
You work in that area?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
So during this time of me going back to school, my mother made full amends for all the time she didn't spend with me. I mean, I know that there's a great deal of guilt there, and she's been a wonderful grandmother. We've mended our relationship. Good. Sometimes we default back to some of the behavior we had. Her being away, I didn't see her as an authority, and we'd fight a lot. So I thought we were over that when she moved in April. And
okay, before we get to the rent and her moving in, allow her to give some background, ma'am.
Thank you. She's right about everything. I was away a lot, so it's true that she didn't see me as an authority figure by the way she spoke to me sometimes, like I was a sister rather than her mom. But I did try to make amends with, being away. And I think despite me being gone a lot, it's not like I left her alone. I have 3 brothers who looked over her, my sister, my mom.
Do you think that's the same as having you?
No, it's not. And I realized, that maybe I could have made some different decisions, but she didn't tell you that, me traveling all over the world, when she was out of school during the summers, I would bring her over. So what 12-year-old kid can say they've been in the south of Spain for their summer break? How long were you gone per year? Like 9 months, okay. 6 to 9.
Do you understand that what she's saying? Would you interpret her as saying she wouldn't give a devil if you went to the south of Spain, to the moon, or anywhere else? Yeah. That she wanted the affection of her mother there. And it's even different than having a father, particularly a girl. She wants her mother in her life. Now, I'm not trying to make you feel guilty, but you sound like you're trying to rationalize it. And, you can't quite rationalize having a daughter in particular, and then leaving her alone 9 months a year and thinking that it's not going to affect her or causing some deficits. That's why I don't want to rehash your life, but for those who are considering the same thing, you have to determine what you're going to do. You have to make a choice, and I'm sure you made your choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for others, not trying to make you feel bad, you felt bad enough.
Yeah.
So, you know, what I say to you in these 2 minutes is not going to make you feel any worse than I'm sure she's made you feel over the course of decades. So I say what I say for others to understand, other mothers in particular, and certainly these fathers. Oh my goodness, these fathers really need to understand, if they're not there to teach their young sons manhood, that they're going to learn a twisted sense of manhood, because as hard as a woman may try,
can't be a man.
Yeah, she can't teach a boy manhood.
Exactly.
She can try. The boy needs a man in his life to show him real manhood.
I
agree. Anything else you want to say about the background before we get to the rant?
Other than that, I just want to say I love my daughter. She's my only child. There's nothing I wouldn't do for her. I love her to death. She's extremely bright, and I just want to...
All right, good. I'm glad to hear that there's nothing I'm going to hang on to that statement. There's nothing you wouldn't do for her. I'm trying to make you feel bad. You felt bad enough.
Yeah.
So, you know, what I say to you in these 2 minutes is not going to make you feel any worse than I'm sure she's made you feel over the course of decades.
Defendant Valerie Reed is being sued by her daughter, who claims Valerie wasn't there for her as a child, so she ran away with a man when she was only 12.
I'm gonna hang on to that statement. There's nothing you wouldn't do for her. Now let's get to what you want her to do for you today. What do you want her to do for you today?
Well,
pay you your money, no doubt.
I could use some money.
Tell me what happened. How does she owe you? She moved in when?
In April. She moved in April of 2010.
All right.
Yeah.
What was the agreement on rent?
$450 a month.
Yeah, right. And then what happened?
So April, she moves in. We agreed upon $450 a month. My aunt stayed there prior, paid the same thing. And I just thought, hey, it's a great experience with Bond. So the first month she paid $150 of the $450. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I had written a contract. She didn't get around to signing it. It wasn't a big deal. I just told her, you know, next month. So I wrote another contract next month. So I was like, okay, this is going to be a month-to-month thing. She made a partial payment again.
Did she sign the second contract?
Yes, she did sign the second contract.
You have that with you today?
Yes, I do.
Can I say something really quickly? She called me last April and begged me to move in at that time because she just had another set of twins.
Most people, when they beg you to do something, they don't want to charge you.
She didn't charge
you. Because they beg you to come.
That's my point.
Oh, she never charged you?
No, she never said anything about me paying.
Oh, would you take a look at this? See if that's your signature.
Yes, I signed it.
Does it say money?
What I'm saying is...
Does it say money?
Yes, sir.
So what are you talking about? You signed a contract saying you would pay her rent. Now you're here talking about she begged me to move in and she never asked me to pay anything. And then you threw that little lying grin on me.
She asked me for money after her fiance moved in.
Ma'am, you signed a rental agreement. That says for rent. That doesn't say anything about no fiance. Now let's get back to you. Let me have the contract back. Now you're upsetting me. Now after you sign an agreement, you're going to act like you didn't. You're going to act like she never asked you to pay rent. She begged me to move in. That's the only reason I moved in. She didn't tell me I had to pay a dime. I was going for your game at first, but the game is over. Let's hear you.
She paid up until the point my fiance moved in. Mm-hmm. And I think because of our rocky past, she felt like he was taking her family from her. I think she needed more time because she felt guilty about the past.
Try to make up that time.
Yeah. And I think that because of all that, she was...
That's a good thing. At least she tried to redeem herself and make up for that time.
The money stopped in August.
Why?
And
did she tell you why?
She said, I'll get around to it. I'll pay you. Gigs are light.
How many months does she owe you for?
11.
11 months?
Yes.
She told you the same thing over and over?
Actually, by December, I wasn't having it. We were at odds with each other. We got into a little incident where
for 11 months, she stayed there and didn't pay?
Not 11 months straight. The first 4 months she did.
How many months did she fail to pay?
7 months.
So, and that totaled how much for those months?
$4,300.
All right. And once again, for 7 months, she didn't give you a reason. Usually, you ask a person, "Where's my rent?" They give you one excuse. Then you say the next month, where's my rent? They give you another excuse. By the third month, when you say, where's my rent? You said, no, I'm not taking any more excuses.
By then I was pregnant and she was saying, cleaning is payment enough.
And what were you saying?
The electric company doesn't care what dish you wash. I still have to pay the bills.
So you were being considerate to let her stay there all those months without paying you.
Yeah.
All right, and she never gave you a valid excuse, even up until the time she moved out.
Correct.
Ma'am, do you owe her? And if so, why haven't you paid?
Like you said, I mean, I did sign something, but I feel like being a full-time babysitter and housekeeper is payment enough.
Ma'am, was that agreed upon?
Under duress, yes.
Well,
I mean, if I'm living there and I'm doing everything.
Ma'am, once again, was there an agreement that you would babysit in exchange for rent?
That's what
babysit your grandkids, by the way. Was there an agreement that you would do that in exchange for rent? Hello?
I thought that was the agreement.
I don't see that agreement. I see an agreement where you agreed to pay your daughter rent. And now you're coming up with excuses. And those excuses are, I took care of my grandkids, so I shouldn't have to pay. She hasn't redeemed herself at all to you. Let her keep trying. Keep on trying. You haven't done it yet. Have a good day. $4,300 for the plaintiff.
I just love you, and I hate that we had to.
Me too.
I just felt like it's just the right thing to do.
It wasn't the right thing to do. I love you so much, but you're supposed to honor your mother.
Yeah, and it's just, if I didn't need the money, I wouldn't ask for it.